Okay, so the bits that I had last night, just put maybe about that much on all the way along and let it set. I didn't want to do an extra mix. I wrapped that, and the two strands, the two tails, I put round, but they started, as they went up, the tails went up, they started to pull apart because one wanted to wrap this direction and one that way. So what I had to do was that piece of 18-inch, the 50mm MBFG wide, 50mm wide tape, I cut it in half and wrapped one section around here and put it over there to bring that in, and the other section wrapped around from here and then put on there, and it's pulled these in and from thing. But so I'll just have to remember that for next time, because I had to ask someone to covered in those blue gloves with thing on it. You obviously can't use scissors, so yeah, luckily there was somebody else in the house who was able to thing, but the to help. But this is, I'm going to have to keep an eye on this because it's peeling off. Some of the resin obviously got onto the edge last night and has made it slightly stiff. So what I've done is I've put along the seam, I've put the masking tape on there loosely, so I can hopefully take it off later, and then put a piece to hold it in. And a couple down here, I did actually, if I put too tightly in, it started squeezing the resin out, so that's not a good thing, which is why I went over to this technique of putting it along the length of the seam and then loosely holding it on in a few places. But yeah, that's successful. I'm good with that. That's I think that's three. Oh, it's 2.5 layers around here, I think. It's another thing, I might have to do one more wrap on those. I didn't get around to. I used up an entire. I can't remember exactly how much I'm using at a time. I think it's about 150 milliliters of a 1 litre gallon at a time. So, or maybe it's only about 100 milliliters thing. So it was enough to do 2 wraps. 100 milliliters was enough to do 2 wraps around there. So 5 wraps total around there. Those are the longest poles in the whole thing designed, so those are 80.5 or 82 millimeters long. These ones are 75, those two there are 75, these are 80, because that's the wheel arch. I actually, because of the suspension that I bought from Alibaba on, which is a swing arm one, it actually ended up being larger, so I had to actually extend this, all of these pipes here in this section here, I had to extend, I think by 10 millimeters, possibly 15, in order to make room for the wheel because of the projected estimated length of the swing arm. I didn't want to intrude into the passenger cabin with the mounting points for that, obviously. So rather than risk that, I moved that. But ended up subtracting 10 millimeters from, 10 centimeters from the further down, I think, from the passenger compartment and the bonnet. But that's why these ended up at 80 millimeters, 82 millimeters rather than 72 and things. So a bit longer than I really would really like. But to be honest, these ones, they're not structural. They're simply supporting the back there. Thinking of the rear bumper, it's this side that needs to be stronger and that side that really needs to be stronger, because they will have the swing arm mounting off of the suspension. The top of the suspension will be around here, and that's almost certainly going to have to be on steel. It's approximately where that node is where the top of the suspension arm is, or probably that this one, but it's in that region, and it's almost like out of a steel sub-assembly that goes in here. Yeah. That's for another video, definitely. All right, thank you.